Fascinating facts about Napoleon Bonaparte. Born on a small island, Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, on the island of Corsica, which had just become part of France that same year. Italian roots. His family was of Italian Tuscan nobility, not originally French. His real name in Italian was Napoleon Bonaparte. He later changed it to sound more French. Brilliant student. He studied at military schools in France and was very good at math, history, and geography, though he had a strong Corsican accent and was teased for it. Young general. Napoleon became a general at the age of 24, one of the youngest in French history. Italian campaign, 1796-1797. He led French forces in Italy and won a series of brilliant victories that made him famous across Europe. Egypt expedition. In 1798, he led an expedition to Egypt, both to expand French influence and to study ancient culture. His troops discovered the Rosetta Stone, which later helped decode Egyptian hieroglyphs. Coup d'etat, 1799. He took advantage of political chaos in France and seized power, becoming first consul at just 30 years old. Crowned himself emperor. In 1804, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of the French in Notre Dame Cathedral, taking the crown from the Pope's hands, symbolizing that he owed power to no one. Napoleonic Code. He introduced the Napoleonic Code, a set of civil laws that influenced legal systems around the world, including Europe, Latin America, and even Louisiana in the U.S. Modern reforms. Napoleon reformed education, banking, the legal system, and the military, laying the foundation for modern France. Merit over birth. He promoted people based on talent and achievement, not on family background, a radical idea at the time. Controlled most of Europe. At the height of his power, around 1810, Napoleon controlled or influenced almost all of Europe, except Britain and Russia. Battle of Austerlitz, 1805, often called his greatest victory, where he defeated the combined forces of Austria and Russia. Failed invasion of Russia, 1812. His army, over 600,000 soldiers, invaded Russia, but due to harsh winter, starvation, and resistance, only about 100,000 survived. Defeated and exiled, 1814. After a series of defeats, Napoleon was forced to abdicate and sent into exile on the island of Elba, near Italy. The 100 Days. He escaped from Elba in 1815, returned to France, and ruled again for 100 days, gathering massive public support. Battle of Waterloo, 1815. His final defeat came at Waterloo, against the British and Prussian forces led by the Duke of Wellington. Final exile. After Waterloo, he was sent to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic Ocean, where he lived under British supervision until his death in 1821. Died in exile. Napoleon died on May 5, 1821, likely from stomach cancer, though rumors of poisoning persist. Buried in Paris. His remains were brought back to France in 1840, and he was buried in Les Invalides, Paris, in a magnificent red sarcophagus. Not short. He was about 56, 1.68 m, average for his time. The idea that he was short came from British propaganda. Feared cats. It said he had a phobia of cats, allurophobia. Workaholic. He slept only 3-4 hours a night and worked endlessly. Napoleon had an excellent memory. He could recall names, faces, battle details, and geography with extraordinary precision, even years later. He wrote romantic novels. Before becoming famous, he wrote a love story called Clisson et Eugenie, inspired by his early heartbreaks. A lover of perfume, Napoleon used enormous amounts of cologne, about 2 liters per month of eau de cologne. He even used it to bathe. Superstitious. Napoleon carried a lucky charm, a small gold medallion of the Virgin Mary, into many battles. Didn't like doctors. He distrusted most physicians and preferred home remedies or ignoring pain altogether. Fast eater. He ate very quickly, sometimes finishing meals in 10 minutes. He preferred simple food like roast chicken and potatoes. Loved children. Despite being a fearsome general, he was gentle with kids, often letting them play with his medals or sit on his knee. Mathematical strategist. Napoleon used his mathematical skills to calculate troop movements and artillery range with incredible accuracy. Invented modern warfare tactics. His ideas about mobility, supply lines, and corps organization shaped modern military strategy. Used psychological warfare. Napoleon often spread false rumors to confuse enemies before battles. Loved maps. He was obsessed with geographical maps. He carried dozens and studied them daily. Influenced the U.S. indirectly. He sold Louisiana Territory to the United States in 1803, the famous Louisiana Purchase, which doubled the size of the U.S. Impact on language. The word Bonapartism is still used to describe authoritarian populist leadership that promises reform and stability. Legal influence. The Napoleonic Code remains the basis of many legal systems today, from Italy, Belgium, and Spain to Quebec and Latin America. Deeply loved Josephine. He married Josephine de Beauharnais in 1796 and wrote her passionate letters while on campaigns, signing them, "To my sweet Josephine." Divorced her sadly. Because she couldn't bear him a child, he divorced her in 1810, but they remained emotionally attached. Second wife, royal blood. He then married Archduchess Marie-Louise of Austria, niece of Queen Marie Antoinette. Had one legitimate son. His son, Napoleon II, the King of Rome, died young at age 21 in Vienna. Many illegitimate children. Napoleon also had several children out of wedlock with mistresses, though he cared for their welfare. Last words. His last words were reportedly, "France Army, head of the army Josephine." A myth after death. After his death, people in France started calling him the Little Corporal, a nickname symbolizing his rise from nothing to greatness. Immense cultural legacy. Over 80,000 books have been written about him, more than about any other historical figure except Jesus Christ.